Hello, truth seekers. Lawrence here, and welcome to Easy Enlightenment. So, spiritual enlightenment is about dismantling the mind. Dismantling the mind also means dismantling all meanings from one's life. Whether you go with the meanings or ideas, preference, beliefs, are simply the mind. To figure out the truth of oneself, all meaning must be dismantled. Dismantling is the way to step back all the way to see one's own true nature. And that true nature is empty. Empty, but conscious. You are consciousness. The nature of the consciousness is conscious and empty. So to get to your true nature, to see the true nature of oneself, all meanings must be dismantled. All meaning must be self-examined to see its nature. And through that, it's easy to let go of the meaning. So right now, if you look at yourself, notice how much meanings you have placed in your life, isn't it? Not just one aspect of your life, you have meanings to all aspects of your life that you prolong. The reason to have meanings in life is because the meaning gives that sense of direction, sense of purpose, and makes the life colorful, isn't it? Colorful, adds flavor. Notice back then, we didn't have meanings in life. We're just going through the experience. Yes, meanings were there, but we weren't holding on to the meanings and moving our life with meaning. We were just wild and just going through the experience without that mental identification. But somehow that phase of our lives we started to get bored, isn't it? We got bored with going to the same routine and we lost connection with it. And with that boredom, we started to seek for the connection, seek for the how to make life meaningful from the boredom. And then while we're searching, we got this idea that you have to place the meanings behind your life. You have to give in a sense of purpose, direction. And that creates that fire in oneself. And we place the meaning behind our actions, meaning behind our life. And it's sort of help, meaning create that flavor, create that aliveness in oneself. And then you move with the meaning. But after putting the meanings behind your actions, behind your life, some of you are still feeling empty, isn't it? You place the meaning behind your life, your action, but the boredom is still there. There's a disconnection after putting so much effort. So the meaning loses its spark. And then there is that void that gap. Some of you are in that space right now in your life. Some of you are still enjoying your meanings and going with the meanings. But if you're losing the spark of that meaning, it's good. When you lose the spark of the meaning, the life itself is making you accept the raw structure of life itself, seeing the nature of things. Meanings is a way to ignore the rawness of life. Now, if you have lost the spark of your meaningful life, some of you are now trying to upgrade your meanings, isn't it? Trying to find the highest meaning as possible. So you're now struggling to figure out. So, one point, back then there was no meaning, then you place the meaning. Now you still feel empty with the meaning. And while you're experiencing this emptiness, the void, the gap in your life, from there you start to figure out that spirituality is the highest meaning. To feel that void, feel that boredom, feel that emptiness. And now you are being part of spirituality, hoping to find that spark. And now some of you are new to spirituality. You have found that spark, that spiritual meaning is giving you some hope. Some of you are not even there yet. You're just enjoying the meaningful life right now. And some of you are already moving with the spiritual meaning. Now you found the highest meaning in life. Everything you do is adding into that meaning. And if you have walked that life, the spirit with the spiritual meaning, you have resonated with the spiritual meaning, and you have walked enough. Now some of you are still feeling empty with the spiritual meanings, isn't it? Now that's another knock on your consciousness or in you to accept the raw nature of the life, inside and outside, both. After having adding the spiritual meaning in life, you still feel empty. You still feel something is missing. You're trying, but when you reflect in your life, there's an ongoing struggle, the ongoing fear, ongoing conflict, ongoing fear, ongoing emotional entanglements, psychological entanglements, still there. The highest meaning is not helping to resolve the inward struggle. So notice, the reason the struggle is there is because the meanings cannot solve the inner struggle. All meanings are simply an identification with the outside layers, coming as a mental and emotional layer. It's a layer. And the layer, the more we hold on to the meanings, we are ignoring who we are. And when we ignore who we are, the raw nature of who we are, all the layers we hold on to It's just a distraction. Distraction eventually, loses its spark. And the only way to see that the spark is not there through your own life, isn't it? You have to be aware of your life, be aware of yourself, and you have to notice that everything you add is not helping you to be free. So, self-reflection is the start of not holding on to any layers. Self-reflection is the start that the outside layers bringing in is not the help to be free from the fear, to be free from that inner drama, inner struggle. Recognizing the failure is the way to reorient ourselves in a true path. Most of the time, the failure, recognizing the failure that nothing is working, is an opportunity to let go of those things and to align with something that will really work. So, once you are there, then the work can start. And the journey to figure out the truth of oneself is self-examination. And self-examination in a way of dismantling the self. The self is the ego. When we identify ourselves with the layers, that is the ego self. When the truth is missing, we are the ego self. When we are not able to see the truth of who we are right now, is the identification with the mind and clinging with the mind. And clinging with the mind itself shows that we are identifying with the false. Identifying with the mind is false because mind is the byproduct of the experience. Everything we go through in life leaves the residue as an idea. And when repeating the idea becomes the preference. And the preference is a belief. And belief becomes a reality. Belief itself is mind. So who you are right now, when the truth is missing, is the belief, is a preference. And what is that? That is the ego self. Holding on to the belief preference works in the relative world just enough. If you're holding on to if you see the relative truth. But when it comes to inner freedom, freedom from the mind, then the mind must be dissolved. Dissolving means dismantling to see the nature of the mind, how the mind comes into existence and how the mind becomes reality. So it's a process of dismantling. And when one is able to dismantle the mind thoroughly, then one is able to see what is left when the mind is dismantled all the way. So that process helps the person to see the unchanging truth. When the truth is seen, then there is no need to cling on to the meanings in life. There is no need to cling on to the mind. as a reality. We can see the mind as an ally, not as a reality, but as an ally, not as something bad, but just as a reference. We still need the mind post-enlightenment life. We need the mind. The enlightenment journey is about dismantling the mind to see the true nature of oneself. Once you see the true nature, when you come back in the world, you still need the mind. You still need the referential mind. You still need to have some simple identification in you. You have to carry some certain simple persona to communicate with the world. And that persona is what? The mind or the meaning. Simple meaning, simple mind. But you're not clinging to the mind. You just wear it to communicate with the world. And you know that you carrying that for that, not to become that. When you have seen the truth through self-examination work, you know exactly who you are and what is mind. You know exactly. And there's no issue with the mind. But the issue is before enlightenment, before the awakening. Because before the awakening, everybody identifies with the mind, especially when the mind is becoming when the mind is seen as a real, and trying to prolong that mind, that preference, that meaning, and fighting with the meaning, with mental construction, emotional construction, and psychological construction. And everybody is fighting right now in the world, isn't it? With meanings. When the meaning is there, it shows the emotional entanglement. And this emotional entanglement is there because of the fear. Fear of as it comes to fear of being empty, fear of death, fear of nobody, fear of uncertainty, fear of no direction, fear of all sort of things. Meaning gives, again, adds flavor to that emptiness. Empty. Meaning gives adds that oomph in life, where the boredom starts to fades when we are holding the meaning. Notice you have meanings, the world has meanings, and everybody's holding the meanings, moving with the meanings, and there's a different awareness in the person who are holding the meanings in their life. And everybody's trying to protect their own meanings. And because of that, most of the time there's a clash with the meanings. One of the clashes is this meaning of God, isn't it? Around the world, people have a different God. They hold on to the different gods, and then with that meanings, people are fighting to show their God is better than other people's God. So the highest meaning is fighting, isn't it? My God is better than your God. Your God is better, is not better than my God. Everybody's quarreling, fighting, mentally, physically fighting, and because of the meaning, the chaos is in the world. If you just be aware of yourself, notice, aren't you fighting with your friends, your colleagues, your neighbors for the sake of that stupid meanings that you hold? Not just you, everybody is fighting. There's a family situation just because of the differences in meaning. Friends are having friction just because of differences in meaning. Workplace is same thing. Everywhere, the meaning is the root cause of the conflict. The reason to have the meaning in life to make the life go smooth, but the meaning is making people entangle and create further conflict and further struggle by holding on to the meaning. So that is pretty much the world. And to be free from the mental struggle, emotional struggle, psychological struggle, which is basically mental struggle, to be free from the mental struggle, one must need to investigate the meanings in their life and dismantle the meaning, and only from that work, thorough dismantling, going all the way until nothing is left. And from that work, one is able to see the unchanging truth in oneself. And that is the opportunity, guys. Self-inquiry is the opportunity to be free while we still have the body, while still living, functioning in the world. So that doesn't mean taking out the meaning and making a life meaningless. It's not that. Taking out the meaning to see who you are first. And after that, post-enlightenment, again, you come, and when you see the truth, the journey itself shows you what is outer world and what is inner world. You see exactly as they are. And then you hold on to the post-enlightenment, you align with the relative truth when you are being part of the world, and that itself is some sort of meaning. But we don't have to create the unnecessary meanings in our lives. So that's that. I hope this video makes sense to you to some extent. I know it's a long video. At least I hope you're getting some gist out of this video. Anyway, thanks for watching this video, and I will see you in the next video. Take care for now. Bye.